fucking job, it ain't no more applying. Fuck that fucking job, boy, I'm sick and I'm tired. Fuck that fucking job, all that bitching and crying, and I'm saying fuck that fucking job, nigga. Hey, fuck that fucking job, bitch. Fuck that fucking job, we gon' be rich tomorrow. Fuck that fucking job, it ain't no more applying. Fuck that fucking job, bitch, I done had enough. Fuck that fucking job, I'm watching everybody work. Fuck that fucking job, that little pay by the hour. Yeah, fuck that fucking job, my back hurting and I'm hungry. Yeah, fuck that fucking job, nigga, on soul. Yeah, caught between the two, get this money, go home. Yeah, all these people so, and all these bitches, they messy. First day I came in, I bossed up on the bosses. And they promise nigga this, promise nigga that. Want my ass to work, then bring that paper back. Sharp, where you been? I been taking the shit. Knowing damn well that I don't fucking sleep. Fuck that fucking job, we gon' be rich tomorrow. Fuck that fucking job, it ain't no more applying. Fuck that fucking job, boy, I'm sick and I'm tired. Fuck that fucking job, all that bitching and crying, and I'm saying fuck that fucking job, nigga. Fuck that fucking job, bitch. Fuck that fucking job, we gon' be rich tomorrow. Fuck that fucking job, it ain't no more applying. Fuck that fucking job, me and bro, we just posted. Look him in the eye, shake my head disappointed. We gotta visualize, summarize, execute. All these people dropping like fly, why the fuck we still here? Man, fuck that fucking job, when I pull up I hate it. Yeah, fuck that fucking job, that's on all of their faces. Fuck that fucking job, man, I'm already lit. Man, I hear one thing, boy, you bound to get hit. Man, the bills cross a nigga's brain. Damn, that's how you keep a nigga damn a slave. Damn, money supposed to be a tool. Damn, for a purpose, what's your purpose for? Fuck that fucking job, we gon' be rich tomorrow. Fuck that fucking job, it ain't no more applying. Fuck that fucking job, boy, I'm sick and I'm tired. Fuck that fucking job, all that bitching and crying, and I'm saying fuck that fucking job, nigga. Fuck that fucking job, bitch. Fuck that fucking job, we gon' be rich tomorrow. Fuck that fucking job, it ain't no more applying.
You know what I'm talking about? I'm sick of that shit, I know you sick of it too, man. Money supposed to be a tool, man. What's your purpose though? It's supposed to benefit a purpose. Shout out, boom, man.
What it do? What it do? You know. Cult leader. Yeah. We speak the truth, but we a cult leader. Yeah. Well, listen, I'm a cult leader. Yeah. Well, listen, I'm a cult leader.
It's Kool-Aid, a nigga that sipped the Kool-Aid. That LaFrog, single barrel and goose. Got the coke going up on a Tuesday. Roast the false prophet like a gourmet souffle. Cause me no say spirit gun like I.S.U.P.K. Nigga might run up in that black face like Gucci. Boycott a cracker, kill your favorite rapper. Cause I run with G's like a Green Bay Packer. I chop a Christian like a new machete. When you polygamous, they look at you like R. Kelly. Still these women wanna do me like I'm Akinelli. West Coast sisters love me like a Machiavelli. Make these crackers lick the dust off my boots. We want no cowards in our camp and we ain't taking recruits. My crew the livest, y'all suckers is the jobbers. Niggas run their lips but they damn sure wouldn't try us. Nah, I ain't the same cat who used to break laws. They just rather see me as the same corpse. Some rather remain lost. My brain washed with these stained thoughts. I be repping for my niggas riding for the same cause. Cult leader. Yeah. Well, bitch, then I'm a cult leader. Yeah. Better ask somebody, bitch.
Cult leader. Yeah. We speak the truth, but we a cult leader. Yeah. Well, bitch, and I'm a cult leader. Yeah. Well, bitch, and I'm a cult leader. According to God, the white man is the devil.
You see, I've been in here for a little minute. You know what I'm saying? And I see niggas, they like to talk a lot, they like to claim leadership, they like to claim this and that. You know what I'm saying? They like to be above when they really is and have authority. But they don't really need that authority, they don't really know what to do with that leadership. You understand. You hold hands with this white ass, need to stop it, ass shit. Give a damn what you talk about. Don't give a fuck what you believe, nigga. Gotta stand up and serve my God. We don't pray on our knees, nigga. Yeah. See, everybody ain't with all that peace talk. Everybody ain't with all that. Let bygone be. Boy, ass need to stop it, ass shit. The prophets. It's about to get serious. When they hit us with dope and kill us with crack, where the fuck with your leaders? I'm curious. He cashed out on your blood, traded you in and bought a new biz. Ask you the prophets, I tell you the scheme. If you don't wake up, you gon' die in your dreams. I tell you once, won't tell you no more. I swear these crackers try to kill us slow. Just spoke to a nigga and fed he up for parole because of the COVID. It feel like the host in this world that don't go together. Know it's gold in the ghetto. I'm in the city blazing with my niggas. Just told the devil the score never settled. Yeah, see the prophets. I'm tired of these niggas keep talking about, you know, you respect my religion, I respect your religion. Boy, your ass need to stop it, ass she the prophets. You know, like we all come together. Cause you know what they say God so loved the world. God so loved the world to know. Boy, your ass need to stop it, ass she the prophets. Don't give a damn what you talk about. Don't give a fuck what you believe, nigga. Gotta stand up and serve my God. We don't pray on our knees, nigga. Yeah. Hey, gentlemen, y'all, we don't pray on our knees, nigga. Gotta stand up. You know what I'm saying? Boy, your ass need to stop and ass shit. One with step, I'm solid for show. To the fake niggas, stay silent, I got it, let's go. Let's go. I ain't taking no loss, ain't no token when we got the flow. Ain't no peace, just pay with your own. I'ma be loyal to the right arm. Tell him we can't keep it slate. And I can never let bygone be bygone. Got your baby mother on high, got your baby pass through the fire. Ain't she the prophets? That baby so below to the Lord. How dare you abort it? Therefore a failure, bitch, I can afford it. I prepare slaughter, you bring me my water. Push your leaders weak, let them lies slip through their teeth. Their ass need to stop it, ass she the prophets.
That's just the reality, Christians. I'm sorry to hurt your feelings. I know your pastor lied to you every Sunday for 30 years, but that's what the church is for, lying. That's why they exist, to lie the money out of your pockets.
Boy, your ass need to stop it.
Welcome to Atlanta. Practice Officer 5000, Jeremiah, the camp leader of Atlanta. Passover 2025, starting April the 9th, we got the lamb slaughter. April the 10th, we got General Muhammad's flag. April the 11th, we got the black party that's going to have the Hebrew graduation. April the 12th, in Atlanta, Georgia, the 56th annual Passover, the only Passover under Commander Junior YAHANNA.
Our great and holy King has honored us for turning our lives from the darkness to the light, man. And no greater gift you can receive than to wake up to the truth and then commit your life to saving your brothers, man. Looking in their eyes and seeing their faces and seeing what they've suffered and what they've gone through and seeing the end of it, man. It is a guaranteed seat in the kingdom of heaven, man. So in the name of our King YAHANNA, we dedicate us another Passover of brothers and sisters' lives being saved.
April the 13th, we got the Feast of Unleavened Bread. SHALAM.
Shalom, Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai, Barakatham, Yahweh Shemal Thum Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai. I'm priest and officer of 1000 Mashah, coming to you from the Detroit school. And I'm with you today, Monday morning, like we do every Monday morning. It is Let a Hebrew Speak. We're waiting for officer, priest and officer 5000 Kazak Ahmad to join us. He's in the building. He had to step away for a second, but we are here. I hope everybody is ready for the Passover. I hope everybody is ready for the Passover. What I need you to do right now, while we're getting ready, waiting for the brother to come in, if you could please put a 1 if you hear me clear. If you hear me loud and clear, give me a 1 in the chat room. Give me a 1 right quick in the chat room, and we'll get started. We will get started, that's for sure. A Q, I don't know what the Q stand for. What did we just touch here? Never mind. All right, I'm seeing ones coming there pretty fast. I can see now, right now, it seems like my delay. I called the people earlier this week. But let's get started. Yeah. If you could, go ahead and turn with me to, you know what it is, Zephaniah 2. Zephaniah 2. Go ahead and turn there. We're going to see if we can get it on the screen for you right quick. See what we got going here. Okay, it's saying something about they're not able to capture the screen when they just captured the screen. I don't know. But anyway, this is Zephaniah 2, beginning at verse 1. Gather yourselves together, yea, gather together, O nation not desired. I love going reading that scripture. I love reading that scripture because for so long in my entire life, all 66 years, it seemed that there have been entities, if I could, there has been powers, if I could. There have been all types of things that tend to push us apart. And it's sad, it's saddening because we seem so easily divided. We seem so easily pushed apart. And we got to wonder sometimes where that come from. It is so easy to get black, brown, should I say Israelites, so-called black, so-called Hispanic, so-called Native Americans to do what? To turn on each other for what? For a piece of the heathen pie, if I could. For simply a piece, what seemed to be like a piece of the heathen pie. What is that? Can anybody got some comments on that? We got the scripture telling us to gather ourselves together, O nation not desired. And you know doggone well, name me anybody in the chat room right now. Anybody in the chat room. And we still, people still coming in, so it looks a little light, but people are still coming in. In the chat room, let me know. What is going on with us being so against each other, so bent on listening to our oppressor, so bent on listening to our oppressor rather than choosing to listen to what the Most High say, what's written down in his word. See what's written down in his word. And let me show you what I mean when I say it's so easy for us to listen to somebody else. Cut this down a little bit more. Here we go. What I mean is this. We sit up here and we look at all the things wrong. Just take your community local. We look at all of those things wrong, right? And then when a brother or a sister stand up and start telling you what's right, it seems to go off real smoothly. Have anybody noticed that? Oh, them brothers got it. They talking that good stuff out there, la, 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 la. As soon as one heathen decide they want to question us, then he's automatically joined. And it's spring again, so we're going to be back on the streets all over America. It's spring. One heathen say something to try to challenge us. And before he can even get his challenge out so that we can answer it, you know what we have to contend with? We got to contend with weak black men, weak Latino men, weak Native American men, and big mouth women of all three, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, coming against us. I grew up in an era that can explain some of this. You see, because when I was growing up, if you got a cold, the flu, or something like that, you know what happened? You got some goose grease on you. I know y'all don't know what that is, but you got some goose grease on your chest, a little Vicks Vapor Rub, right? And you drunk this concoction that had cod liver oil in it. It had something else in it and stuff like that. And then 2 days later, they came back with some Fletchers. Now, what happened? Guess what? We was living longer. We was living more healthy. What happened? All these heathens came out with this thing called pharmaceuticals. And all of a sudden, we start getting pills for every little ailment there is in the world. What they have to do with us not staying together? Well, what it has to do with it is that we quickly left grandma's remedies. You know what I'm saying? That goose grease didn't smell all that good. And don't catch the mumps. Everybody, I know y'all remember what happened if you got the mumps, right? You got that sardine oil put on your cheeks and you had to rub it up and all that. Now, I don't know if any of this has any medical if it's any of it's any valid medical. This is what they did to us. If you got if you were down south playing, you got too hot and you got what they call heat rash, right? They went in, they got a handful of cornmeal, slapped it on there, and sent you back outside. That's the way we did things. But you know, I'm up from Detroit. I'm up here in the north, and I saw from a little boy from the time they first bused us in '68. I saw how we began to drift apart as a people. At that time, I didn't know that the Christian church, the black Christian church even, was the problem, was the main problem, you see. But that was the way, by us not knowing our records were our records. By not knowing our records were written by us, and not knowing that this thing called the Bible possessed the majority of our records, we believe everything we was told by the corporate Christian establishment. By the corporate Christian, we believed everything that we were told. And the things that we were told, that you too can be saved. God loves everybody. You need to obey who your master is, no matter what they tell you to do, and all of this nonsense. None of this nonsense. Khan, I see you, sir. We going up on screen now. Shalom, y'all.
Masha, can you hear me?
Khan, I don't want Khan. Can you hear me, sir?
I hear you loud and clear.
Khan. I was just
too. The laptop wanted to decide to update at the wrong time. I'm on here trying to get on here with you, and they said, "Sir, you got to update."
No problem. Y'all saw me last week. I thought my laptop had turned against me. It did everything. All I was trying to do was play a repeat. But that's all. That's okay. We here now.
That's right. Damn right.
And I opened up with Zephaniah 2:1. Gather yourselves together, and I was explaining to the folk how I can look at my lifetime, 66 years of it, and see how we drifted apart. I remember back in the day, if you wasn't considered an expert, not in our neighborhood, unless one of the black men in that neighborhood said you were good at that. You were an expert. We weren't talking about basketball and baseball. We was talking about plumbing, electrician. We was talking about roofing. We was talking about all of this. But today, you're not an expert unless you get it from a piece of paper from our oppressor. Today, you're not married unless you get a piece of paper from our oppressor. You see, the brother will be back, and that's the point I'm trying to make. If you got something to say, want to add to that in the chat, please go ahead. I titled this morning, and I'm looking at how many we got in, and I'm looking at who's in, and I'm gonna just give it to you straight up. Man is the head of the woman. And the brother be back on shortly. He's getting his computer together. He said earlier his computer started updating. I know when you go through that, a lot of things can happen at one time. Like I said, I was going through some things last week. So if you have anything to say about coming together, if you can remember the times when, let's see, here's one. Everybody, give me a One West in the chat. If you can remember that when you jumped into the car as a family, and as you left the black neighborhood, everybody was conditioned to reach over, lock their door, and roll their windows up. Tell me if you remember that. Or do you better remember when you drive into the hood, you reach over, lock your door, and roll your windows up? Which one do you remember? And I can tell you which one you remember first. And I can tell you just about when you were born. Because these are some ways to see what changes took place in our people. You see, some people tell you, and it's crazy that they would do this, but think about this. Where did you first hear, don't judge a book by its cover? Don't judge a book by its cover. And what do you think they really meant when they told you that? I hear you, Mariah. You can remember there was a time. I know some of y'all don't know this, but there was a time that when you got in the car and you drove around, as long as you was inside a black neighborhood, it was all right for your kids to be a little noisy. They could have the windows all the way down and all of that, right? But then there came a time. There came a time that when you, and I'm gonna tell you when it began to take place, we began, matter of fact, Oh, when I was little, I can remember having to roll our windows up and lock our doors during the time that we left our neighborhood and was going into another man's neighborhood, another people's neighborhood. That was the standard. And our neighborhoods, believe it or not, was the safest place we could possibly be. It was more safe in the black neighborhood for everybody than it was any place else in Michigan, Tennessee, Indiana, Illinois. It was in the 60s. I'm telling you, the news may want you to think differently, but you were safer in your own neighborhoods. You were safer in your own neighborhoods around that same time as an attempt to stop black people from figuring out who they were. Stop Native Americans, stop Latinos from figuring out that they were actually children of the Most High God. All types of things came at us, one being the so-called women's liberation of the 1960s. And let's have a small, who remember that? If you remember the women's liberation of 1960s, go ahead and give me a 1. If you can remember, and I'm talking about literally, if you were there and you remember looking at TV and you saw the 1960s, early 1970s clothes, and the sisters had on their different attire, hats, and they had nice afros, and they was coming out. They all seemed young, strong, and powerful. It seemed like they was about blackness. Who remember that? Okay, of course, my wife, my rib remember. Anybody else remember? Anybody else in here old enough to remember that? To actually remember seeing the news channels where girls were disposing of their bras, running around topless, different things like this. The whole women, and then they, all the people did all the speeches and how wrong and stuff it was and all that. That, believe it or not, was another attempt of our oppressor to drive a wedge between or within the black family, draw a wedge between the black man and the black woman. That's what that was all about. Why? Because they understood what Yahawashi said, know ye not that a house divided against itself. Now, what did it say? A house divided against itself. I love this comment, cannot stand. The map cartographer, he said, I was born in 1998. I only saw pictures. That's not, and I appreciate the honesty, because what we're talking about, what I'm talking about, was a very real thing. It's part of the underfabric that has our neighborhoods. And I have to say neighborhoods, plural, not just because it's a lot of black neighborhoods, but because it's a lot of Israelites. And then when you go to the Latino neighborhood, that's Israelites. When you go to the Indian reservations in America, that's Israelites. When you go to the black neighborhoods in Canada, Israelites. Indian reservations in Canada, I don't even know if they got them up there, but if they have them, Israelites are everywhere. So when you go to our neighborhoods, right, you have to understand what changed us, what part of the stuff that changed us. Then and why is that important? Because we get to see our mistakes. You understand? We get to see our mistakes. We can see how we disobeyed the Most High. You see what I'm saying? Trooper Rakashayal, glad to see you here. Jump in anytime you feel like it. You want to put a comment. I'd love to see all y'all in here. But this is what was going on. The brothers say, map cartographers say, I do wish I was around back then. It must have been amazing. Modern tech we have now is amazing, but people just hate each other so much. Now it's very sad. And it's not just people. We've learned to hate ourselves. We learn to hate ourselves. And like I said, one of the ways you got this fight between us to blow up to what it is because they came out with the women's movement. Even now, women's Black History Month is in February. Watch this. Women's History Month is in March, I believe it is. Right behind it. They want you to forget about anything about yourself for the interest of something else that doesn't belong to you. White women don't belong to us. You understand? They don't. Heathen women don't belong to us. They're not ours. Let them go. We don't even need to pay attention to anything they have to say. We're waiting for the brother to pop back in. As soon as his computer ready, he'll be back. But while we're waiting on him, I'm going to show you, sisters. Now, I don't know if this is where the brother was going to go first, right? But if you could turn with me to Ezekiel 24. Ezekiel 24. And go down to verse 16. Go down to verse 16. Ezekiel 24. Let's go down to verse 16. And if it look like I'm looking away, it's just because I'm reading where the scriptures are popping up right now. Ezekiel 24, beginning at verse 16. Son of man, behold, I take away from thee the desire of thine eyes with a stroke. Yet neither shalt thou mourn nor weep, neither shall thy tears run down. Verse 17, forbear to cry, make no mourning for the dead, and bind the tire of thine head upon thee, and put on thy shoes upon thy feet, and cover not thy lips, and eat not the bread of men. It sounds like the brother just popped back in. Khan. I don't want Khan. He's back in. Ezekiel was told, you on the screen, sir.
Can you hear me, Masha?
Khan. I don't want Khan. We sound like we have a slight delay. If you want to, sir, I had just read Ezekiel 24. It's one of them hard scriptures that most sisters I run into, they don't like hearing it. My point for pulling that is if we love our wives.
That's
we
right.
love our wives in Israel. In the U.P.K, we love our wives, so we teach our wives. Some people say we harsh on our wives. Some people lie and say we are cruel. We just obey the law, statute, commandments. We teach the law, statute, commandments to our wives even before we come out on the street. That's our first rule of practice when we come in as a trooper.
That's right.
I got to teach my wife that these brothers are correct, and we got to follow. And that's where the first real conflict of being an Israelite, learning that I'm an Israelite, trying to walk according to an Israelite, it comes in with my family, with my wife. And I'm going to leave it at that and turn it over to the brother. It's all on you, sir. Salaki. Can you hear me, sir?
Masha, can you hear me?
Now I can. Yes, sir.
Can you hear me?
I can
Hello?
hear you. Yes, sir. Can you? You can't hear me? Check your
Okay, yeah, I hear you now. Yep.
Okay.
I hear you now loud and clear. The water, Masha. Satan must not want this episode to be taught.
My bad. Hit the wrong one.
No sweat. All right, everybody that's tuning in, type a 1 in the chat if you can hear me. Everybody that's tuning in, type a 1 in the chat. I want to make sure we are good to go. and that you all can hear me. We're having some technical difficulties this morning, but priest and officer of 1000 Masha up there in Detroit is holding it down. You understand? The water to you, priest. You understand? The water for your diligence and all your hard work and assisting me in holding down Let a Hebrew Speak for General Hazayan. You understand? So the water to you, Masha, as always, brother. You understand? And I value and appreciate your work. Right? So let me see the ones we got coming in. The map cartographer, I see you. Shalom, Makwalat, I see you. Bathara Wana, Shemayim, Math Kodyak, I see you. Ida Yana, Naamia, Pa'ara. The map photographer said, take the time you need to fix the issues with the stream. We can wait. I know that's right. You understand? I the water to you for your grace and your patience. Mariah Allah, Aharon, you understand? Most High Christ. If y'all haven't done so already, please, y'all like and share the stream. You understand? Satan clearly is trying to stop whatever's going to be brought out today from being brought out. You understand? And I know exactly what it is because it's something that needs to be brought out. You understand? The man is the head of the woman. And I know it's something that is so for some odd reason, I can't understand how or why any sane person can come up against this, the man being the head of the woman. But we live in such a wicked society. We live in such a backwards society that for us to go into the scriptures and read what the Bible says, that makes us public enemy number one. Yeah, we live in such a perverse society, and that's why Christ has to return. The return of Christ is going to be the turning of things upside down. That's in the Bible. You understand? I'm priest and officer 5,000 Kazaka Imam. I got priest and officer of 1,000 Masha holding it down. You understand? We hold it down for General Hazayan. This is Let a Hebrew Speak. That's Officer Masha right there. And the topic of today's class is the man is the head of woman. You understand? The man is the head of the woman. Shalom, Yagadah, I see you. The map cartographer said, got to pay my tithes. Happy to contribute to your cause. I hope one day I can jump in class. Well, the map cartographer, I value what you said. However, I have to correct you on one thing. This is not my cause. This is not Commanding General YAHANNA's cause. This is not Masha's cause. What we're doing, the map cartographer, is Christ's cause. You understand? And I think we have to never lose sight of that, because the moment we lose sight of that and believe ourselves to be anything other than what we are, you understand, you have lost path. You've gotten severely off path. You understand? So we're just trying to measure up to the greatest man to ever do this, and that is Christ our King. And Commanding General YAHANNA has been an excellent example in following our King Christ's cause. And that's why we follow Commanding General YAHANNA in the I.S.U.P.K. You understand? So just, I know, you didn't mean no harm by it, but just to make sure, everybody understands, this is not our cause. You understand? If any of you would have met me 8 years ago, you wouldn't even have been able to recognize me. You understand? You would not see me talking about the Bible. You wouldn't forget about it. You understand? And I'm pretty sure it's the same for all of you. We are completely different people than who we used to be. And we do things differently than how we used to do them because of Christ. You understand? Masha, if you could, I want to get a precept, please. Can you get me everything moving slow over here. I see what's going on. Isaiah 29:16, please. Isaiah chapter 29, verse 16. If any of you have any questions, type the questions in the chat. Officer Yaganan, I see you. I see you, mighty man. Also, too, Masha, while you getting Isaiah 29, do we have any QR codes to pay the Passover fee that we can put up on the screen? Let me know if we got a QR code that we can put up on the screen so everybody can know, can scan that code and go and pay for the Passover if possible. You understand? Right? So everybody, make sure you hit that, hit that thumbs up, hit that like button, hit that share button. Our oppressor doesn't want us to hear the truth. And I'm going to show you something, man, today, this morning. Everything in this society is geared towards the water. There we go. Perfect. You understand? Everything in this society is geared towards turning what the Lord wants upside down. And it's been like that since the beginning. Since the nations came together to try to come up against God, to try to build a tower to heaven and make a name for themselves. That's the spirit of this place. And our oppressor, the white man, he has been excellent in coming up against the God of the Bible. And that's why in his society, everything is backwards. Everything is opposite. You understand? Please, Masha, if you could read that Isaiah 29:16. Masha, if you reading, I can't hear you, mighty man. You gotta re-add yourself to the stream. Re-add yourself to the stream. There we go. I see it's coming up now.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, the water priest, the water.
Okay. If I go out, something, please holler.
I got you, mighty man.
You can hear me still?
Yep, I hear you loud and clear.
All right. This is Isaiah 29, starting at verse 16. Surely your turning of things upside down shall be esteemed as the potter's clay. For
right. It's like, let me break this down right here. It says, surely your turning of things upside down shall be esteemed as the potter's clay. I love going into the scripture and the imagery of it. You understand? Anybody that's been in this class before, I broke this down a couple of months ago where we brought up a picture of a potter. A potter is someone that makes vessels out of clay. You understand? It's an art that we have lost because we have been detached from being self-sufficient. You understand? You got to imagine, okay, if everything were to shut down today, you understand? If the world were to reset, there was a nuclear bomb that went off. You understand? And you were the people left alive. There's little things that you take for granted that you don't realize it requires work. It requires somebody to be skilled, meaning, okay, you out in the wilderness, brother, there you have no cups, no plates,
None.
No bowls. That's something that you would take for granted, but it makes life so much more easier. And because of that, you had to have people who were skilled in making those things. Now, everything is so microwavable in a sense of now everything is so quick. You understand? Everything is so quick because it's mass produced in factories. You don't have to go to an artisan, somebody that's a skilled person that specializes in this to go do it. You don't have to have a bunch of children and make one of them learn how to do it because now you can go get it from somewhere else. Well, because of that, we've lost a lot of self-sufficiency. You understand? And because of that, we don't understand a lot of these analogies and metaphors in the Bible. A lot of these analogies and metaphors usually refer back to husbandry, farming. You know how many black farmers there are in America? Not enough. Not enough. It used to be where we were all the farmers, almost. You understand? It used to be where we had so much land and we farmed the land because coming out of slavery, we were the most skilled in tilling the land, the most skilled in understanding how to deal with the animals and the farms and the crops and everything like that. And then our oppressor, being the devil that he is, passed laws and legislations, chiefly being the Homestead Act. You understand? And they took all that farmland through legislation and unlawful violence and murder and terrorization. And they took that land from us and stripping us of the land, it forced us to, many of us moved up north. You understand? Many of us moved up north. And when we moved up north, what was up north? Not farmland, factories.
Factories.
And that's why if you talk to your grandfathers or grandmothers, You understand? Most of them don't know a damn thing about farmland. You understand? They know about Ford Motor Factory. You understand? Bell Sports or whatever factory they worked in, right? I said all that to say, excuse me, that being a potter is a craft, a skill that we don't have anymore. So when you read a lot of these analogies, we have to get down to the imagery of what it's saying. Right here, it says, the turning of things upside down shall be esteemed as the potter's clay. So now, first, you have to imagine a potter, someone that works with pottery, and they're making something. You understand? Imagine you're sitting at the pottery wheel and you're making something. And when anybody that's ever taken a pottery class or that's good at visualizing this, if a potter makes something that they're not pleased with, what do? Type in the chat. Type in the chat. If a potter, someone that makes clay vessels, creates something or sees something that he is not pleased with on that pottery wheel, what do? Shalom, Kwamadai, I see you, sis. Masha, I'm gonna send you something too. If you're able to put this this particular one on the screen, I'm gonna send this to you.
Come.
Right? Type in the chat. What does a potter do when they are creating something and they're not pleased with what was created? That's right. So like I said, if I may, they throw it away or discard of it. That's right. They break it down. That's correct. You understand? I would advise all of us at some point in time, take a pottery class. It's not expensive. You understand? Take a 1 hour, 2 hour pottery class. It's a beautiful experience. I have yet to do it, but I'm going to do it very soon. You understand? That's right, Bathar now they start over, they destroy it. That's right, Naamia. They start completely over. The map cartographer said, I had rewind back, I would remake it and try to make it better. That's what they do. You understand? They destroy it first because you cannot build on that same wheel until you get rid of the thing that you are not pleased with. Well, the scripture right here is comparing our oppressor, his ways in the society that he has built as something that is displeasing to the Lord. And the Lord is the potter. The Lord is the creator of everything. And the Lord is looking at what our oppressor has created. The Lord is looking at America saying 2 men can get married, 2 women can get married. The Lord is looking at America legalizing weed. The Lord is looking at you allowing your children to decide if they're if they're a boy or girl and getting hormone treatments and taking pills to change who their biological makeup is supposed to be. The Lord sees all the things. The Lord sees the white man pretending to be a Jew. He sees you. He sees you putting on all black because the Jews are black people and you're trying to be like black people, so you wear all black. The Lord sees how you stole the land and how you hung blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans. The Lord sees how you run society. And the way you run society is displeasing to the God of the Bible. That's and the Lord said that your turning of things upside down shall be esteemed as the potter's clay, meaning everything that exists today in Esau society is turned upside down. What's the chief thing that's upside down? I'll give it to you for time's sake. I came on here late. The white man being over us. That's chief. That's in Ecclesiastes. You understand? I have seen servants on horses.
That's right.
Princes walking alongside the horses, meaning the current order of things is upside down. White people should have never been over us. They're not fit to be over anything. They're not fit to rule over us. And the Bible is telling us that the people that sit on horses, when you ride horses in cultures, that is to signify, that's synonymous with power or authority. That's why I always laugh at that scene in Django I hate to bring up a movie, but once again, just to give you a visual, you understand of how significant it is to ride a horse. There's a scene in the movie Django with Jamie Foxx, and Jamie Foxx was the only black man riding on a horse. And the rest of the black men were walking alongside everybody, all the other white men on a horse. And when Jamie Foxx rode through town, all the white men were looking at him like, who is that nigga on that horse? Who is that nigga on that nag? Because they understand the power dynamic that exists. You're not, the people in power ride horses. The people that serve those in power walk alongside with the horses. And the Bible is saying right now, there are servants, slaves, beasts sitting on horses.
That's right.
And the true princes, the true authority, the true government that is supposed to rule the earth, they're walking on the ground next to the horses. Yeah, this society is backwards. It's upside down. And the Lord said it'll be esteemed as the potter's clay, meaning just how easy it is for a potter to look at the work that he's displeased with and to smash it all down and destroy it into a lump so he can now create and build up what he wants, what he always intended. And that's what the Lord is going to do. The Most High God is going to send our King Christ to return to this place to destroy all of your kingdoms, all of your societies, all of your ways, to now put in place and turn right side up this society. You understand? A new society, not this one. You understand? This society can't be fixed. And that's why you shouldn't pray for America. You shouldn't pray for America. You shouldn't pray for World War III to not happen. You shouldn't pray for world peace. You should pray that this place comes into destruction as soon as possible.
That's right.
You should pray that there is no peace between the Ukrainians and the Israelis. If you truly are somebody that follows Christ, you would think Christians, because it's in the name, Christians, you would think they follow Christ. Christians are anti-Christ, especially white Christians. You white Christians are the biggest anti-Christ on the planet because you don't really want Christ to return. You white Christians are patriots. You love America. I hate to break it to you, white people. You cannot love America and be Christian, a true follower of Christ.
True.
To love America is to love the current order of things. And that's why Christ is coming to return to destroy the current order of things. So here's my question to all you white Christians out there, all you good old patriots and white nationalists that believe Jesus is with you. Whose kingdom do you want to rule? Jesus Christ's kingdom or America? Because they can't be together. They won't be together. In order for Christ's kingdom to be on earth as it is in heaven, America has to fall. But here you are touting America, pushing America, America first. Yeah, Christ is saying America first for destruction. You right about something. You getting on here talking about America first. You right, you white patriots, you white Christian nationalists. You say America first. I agree. Put America first when it comes to destroying these societies on the earth.
That's right.
Line America, line that hoe up first. Line her up first. Put her to the front of the line for her judgment, for her destruction, because that's what Christ wants. Christ wants to see America fall and be destroyed and never to rise again. Christ wants to see Russia fall. Christ wants to see China fall. Christ wants to see Europe fall. All of these societies that exist on earth right now have to fall because they all have taken part in the destruction of God's people. You understand? That's why when you go into Revelations, it says the kings shall mourn for her. You understand? They all have drunken of the cup of our afflictions. Every nation has had a hand in our destruction, and that's why this entire society, the entire earth, is going to be turned right side up when Christ returns. You praying for America to last, and you praying for America to thrive. You're anti-Christ, and you're going to perish with America when Christ returns. You love America so much, no sweat. We'll watch you perish with this fragile place, with this sinful place. You understand? Give me Isaiah 5 and 16.
Come on, sir. All right.
Excuse me, 5 and 20.
5 and 20.
That's right. That's right. The map cartographer. The world was given into the hand of the wicked. That's Job 9 and 24. You understand? That's what the Bible says. And right now, our oppressor, the wicked, he runs the earth. And the Lord is displeased with his management. You understand? With his management skills. You understand? Putting the white man in charge is like leaving the youngest sibling in charge of the house when the parents leave. You understand? Anybody that grew up with a bunch of siblings, you can relate to this very well. I have a lot of siblings. You understand?
It's gonna be a mess.
That's right. And the parents never put the youngest sibling in charge when they gone.
Never.
For all you single kids out, excuse me, you only children out there that didn't have siblings, you might not understand what I'm talking about. But when you have siblings, there's somebody that's put in charge when the parent leaves. You understand? It's usually the oldest sibling or the most responsible sibling. Usually somebody that's the oldest or close to the oldest. The white man being in charge is putting the youngest sibling over the house while mama's gone, while pops is gone. It's a terrible idea. It's a terrible idea, and the house is going to be in utter disarray when the parents get back, and that's what you have now. You understand? Our oppressor, he's in charge of the society. His way of things is the way of the earth, and because of that, the earth mourns, the animals mourn, the ozone layer, the oceans, the rainforest, the children of Israel, the whales, the dolphins, everything mourns because of who's in charge and their terrible leadership. You understand? Read what you got, please.
I don't want con. This is Isaiah chapter 5. You say verse 16?
Verse 20, please, priest.
Verse 20. Woe unto them that are wise in their own eyes, and prudent in their own sight. Verse 22.
Slack, you read 21. I need verse 20, priest.
Oh, so
no sweat, priest.
Bad eyes. Salakia.
No sweat. Too hard.
This is Isaiah chapter 5, verse 20. Woe unto them that call evil good and good evil.
This is our oppressor. Woe to them that call good evil and evil good. This is everything about American society. Everything about American society is to hate the things that are right and to love and embrace the things that are absolutely terrible according to God. Yeah, the Lord is saying destruction to that. Woe is Old English for destruction, and the Lord is saying destruction to those that call the good things evil. You see us on the street corners and you hate us. Shalom, Pagabawa, I see you, mighty man. You see us on the street corners and you hate us. You hate to see us because we're not gay. That's the first thing. Definitely you see it. You understand? You can tell a gay man. The scripture says their countenance does prophesy against them. You understand? Give me 1 second. Shalom, Lord Christ.
Their countenance prophesy against them. Your countenance is how you look. Your countenance is how you look. So you can tell when something wrong with the kids when they come home, right? It's because of their countenance, their demeanor, how
That's
they
right.
look.
That's right. The water, mashallah. That's it. That's what you need. The scripture says their countenance, the men of Sodom, LGBTQ men, their countenance prophesy against them. Meaning you can look at a man that lives that lifestyle, and you can see it on his face. You can see it. Yeah, you see us on the street corners, and you instantly know, first of all, these brothers are not gay, and they're not weak, they're not effeminate. And that alone is just enough for you to hate us. Because this society hates men that are not gay. This society hates men that loves women, which is strange to me because I thought women wanted men to love them. I thought women wanted more men to actually love women and care for women. But it seems like when there are men that actually do love women and only prefer women, those are the men that are hated. That doesn't make sense to me. I know why. Because once again, the Bible says our oppressor has turned things upside down.
That's right.
You have made the things that are good evil, and you have made the things that are evil good. Let me help you, you freaks and you deviants and you you unresolved trauma victims out there. Being a straight man will never go out of style.
That's right.
It'll never be wrong. It'll never go out of style. You brothers out there that's listening, don't let some whore or some homosexual now try to convince you that being a straight man that loves women only, that loves women the right way too.
That's right.
You understand? Because there's fake Israelites out there that claim to love women and they loving women not at all. You understand? They got a woman, but that thing they're doing with that woman behind closed doors is not of the Lord. You understand?
That's right.
Don't let this society make you feel bad for being a man that loves women. You understand the way the Lord said a man ought to love a woman. Don't make the society make you feel bad because you're masculine and you want the authority over your house. They're going to make everything that the Lord said to be wrong. Everything the Lord said is wrong according to the Bible. I want to prove it to you. Masha, give me 1 Corinthians 11:3. Please.
This is the book of 1 Corinthians.
Oh, you had it already?
Come on, sir.
Yeah, damn. I forgot who I was messing with.
This is 1 Corinthians chapter 11. We're starting at verse 3. But I would have you to know that the head of every man is Christ.
But I will have you know that the head of every man is Christ.
Mm-hmm.
This right we're reading right here is so pivotal to our lives. This would change the entire layout of our community. This would change our communities overnight if we understood this. What we're getting ready to read right here. Shalom, Yanazar. Shalom, Mawasar. I see y'all. I see you. Right? This thing we're reading right here is so heavy and it's pivotal. I can't even say the damn word, y'all. It's pivotal to what we need. Right? Get me keep reading.
But I would have you to know that the head of every man is Christ, and the head of the woman is the man.
The head of every man is Christ, meaning every brother out there, you have a head. I see a lot of you fake Israelites, you believe that you don't have to now follow after anybody and you make your own decisions and you a lone wolf, you an individual. Yeah, the problem is that's not how life works, and that's not the proper order. Every man is supposed to follow Christ. Every man is ordered to follow Christ.
Mm-hmm.
That's the order. This is what we're reading about here is order, rank. Something that you brothers that want to be by yourselves, you despise rank because you're not a soldier and you don't understand to live this life. You have to have the spirit of a soldier. To be a man that serves God, You have to have the spirit of a soldier. You understand? It's not, you want to be a hippie and you want to be, I don't know what the hell you want to be, but it's not of the Lord. You understand? You despise rank. You believe you equal to your woman and y'all partners. And she makes decisions sometimes and I make decisions. I hear you. That sounds beautiful on paper. It sounds beautiful to say on a podcast full of women with a woman audience. That sounds excellent in the church. That sounds politically correct on the news. The problem is you put it up to the Bible and that's wrong. That's upside down according to the Bible. And because you're not a soldier, you take the weak route. You're not equal to your woman. You destroy your woman by making yourself equal to her. You destroy her by doing that. You think you're doing the chivalrous thing. You think you're doing the thing that men ought to do to show women that I'm listening and I hear you. You destroy women by making yourself equal to them. You understand? It's effeminate to do. You're not equal to a woman. The Lord said, you are over your woman. And here's what brothers don't understand. I'm going to get to you sisters in a second. Just hold your horses and fasten your seatbelts. Here's what brothers don't understand. You want to make yourself equal to your woman. And guess what happens when things go bad? Anybody know? Type in the chat. Here's how you know spiritually women know who should be in charge. What happens when things go wrong? What happens? Type in the chat. When things go wrong in a relationship between a man and a woman, what happens? Shalom, Grisha Brown. I see you, sis. It's not hard. It's not hard at all.
Not at all.
That's right, Officer Nwanyala. You get blamed. Pagaba said she comes to the man to make it right. That's right. Bathara Wana said we don't know what to do. Makula said the woman runs to a man to fix it. All of those are correct. The answer I was looking for is what Officer Nwanyala said, but all of those are absolutely correct. When things go wrong, not only does the woman blame you, society blames you. Everybody blames you. When something goes wrong in a family, nobody ever looks to the woman and say, what happened, sis? What did you do? They're looking for, where's that man? Brother, I seen a story. This is in Detroit, I believe, Masha. There's a story that this is an incident that happened a couple weeks ago where a homeless sister with 4 kids, she was sleeping in her car with her 4 kids. She was homeless with 4 kids sleeping in the car. And the temperatures were so freezing around that time. And 2 of her children died. Died overnight in a freezing car with their mother. Do you know what everybody was saying in the comments?
Oh, I can guess. I know they had a question.
Well, go ahead, Marshall. What was the overall general consensus of what people were saying?
Where was the father?
Where was the father?
How could he let that happen?
How could he let that happen? Nobody said what a horrible and raggedy mother she is to be homeless with 4 children. And I'm not calling her Sister Raggedy, you understand? Because I don't know the specifics of it. I'm not calling her raggedy. I'm not downing the sister. I blame the white man for those 2 beautiful babies dying, those innocent babies dying. I'm not blaming that sister. Nor am I blaming the brother. But guess who got blamed? The man who wasn't even there. His absence somehow was the fault. You understand? Meaning he wasn't even there and he got the blame for something. This is a woman. We don't even know the specifics of their relationship. We don't know if she kicked him out. She told him she don't want him around. I can do it on my own. I'm strong. We don't know any of that. All we know is this is a woman that had 4 kids. And she was by herself. And 2 of those children, she was homeless, living in a car with her 4 kids, young kids. 2 of them died And nobody thought to say, how could you let your kids die, woman? Why didn't you go to a shelter, woman? No, everybody said, where was the father? Yeah,
that's right.
Here's the thing that brothers, you want to make yourself equal to women, and you want to have this hippie dream that you a partner, and you think you so progressive and new age. You're an idiot, and you're prolonging and you're going to make your family and your woman suffer needlessly because you're in charge. You are in charge. You're not going to get the equal share of the blame. You're not going to get equal share of responsibility when things go wrong. Everybody's going to look at you like, how did you drop the ball? Where was your antennas when these kids was freezing, man? Mr. Man? Yeah. In spirit, everybody knows the man is in charge. Regardless of what they say online and get online and run their mouth about.
Right.
When things go wrong, the person that gets blamed is the person that's the leader. That's how you can find out who the person in charge is. You understand? The leader is the one that gets blamed. And brother, a black woman could be on crack. A black woman could be a straight crackhead. She decided to get on crack, and her baby can come out a crack baby, and somehow the man gets blamed for that still. Okay. Rightfully so. You know why? Because too many of you brothers are refusing to put on the spirit of a soldier, to put on the spirit of a man of God and say, I run my woman. I am over my woman. I am in charge of my woman and my family. Whatever happens, it happens because either I allow it or I don't allow it. That's masculinity. And that spirit has been beat out of you. That spirit has been beat and shamed out of you. This society will shame you for what I just said. I'm going to make a clip and I'm going to post that clip. And I want y'all to read the comments when I post this clip. And watch how many women would say that I have no right to want to be in charge over a woman. I have no right to want to be in charge. You're going to see so many comments about how black men have failed and how this is and that. Brothers, you cannot be discouraged by what they say and by what society is telling you to do, because society has called good evil and evil good.
That's right.
And they're going to tell you to do the thing that you shouldn't do. They're going to support you doing the thing that you shouldn't do. That's how you know if you're doing something right or not. If society as a whole is praising you in the wrong split, you're doing something wrong. Because this society doesn't praise the right thing. This society doesn't encourage or support the right thing. They support the wrong thing.
Shalaki, Alwan, if
Go
I
ahead,
could. You make a hell of a point right there. You make a hell of a point. And all we have to do is to look at, oh man, it just slipped my mind.
Take your time, priest.
Yeah. When you talk about they got a problem with the black man. They have a problem with the black man.
Right.
Everything a black man has tried to do in America that he didn't do quietly behind the scientific door or out in the field, if he did it publicly, there was a concerted effort marshaled against him to say that he was wrong. I was saying earlier that when we start coming out in the 60s,
right,
we start being black and proud. Immediately following that, or even before that could die down, that's when the so-called women's liberation movement went to the forefront of public television, and they saw it in the movies, different things like this.
That's right.
And when that went forward, that's when tons of sisters you've never seen before decided to get into the movement. It was the in thing to do. It looked like it was fun. You're going to get something out of it. And one of the biggest things you're going to get out of it is your man not telling you what you have to do.
That's right. That well said, Ma. Shot the water for that too, priest. Let me read some of these comments real quick. Shalom Shapat Dayak, Shalom Aisha Banath, Shalom U.P.K Yakada. Grisha Brown said he was with her. I think no, he wasn't with her, sis. He wasn't with her. Officer the one Yala said niggas getting pegged. They ain't worried about being in charge. Yeah, that's exactly what's going on outside of the U.P.K. Outside of the, and let me tell you, sister, something. I'm gonna get to y'all in just a second. Let me stay on these weak brothers first. And I'm gonna get to you sisters in a second. But before I get that, sisters, if you are married to a man in here, you better show the ultimate gratitude. I don't give a damn what issues y'all, unless this nigga is gay on the low, you tell on him. If he's gay, if you are a sister married to a brother in here and he's gay on the low, like them fake Israelites, tell immediately.
That's right.
Run and tell. Tell. Let your camp leader know, let the general know. If that's your husband and he's in the U.P.K, tell. But as far as I know, that's not any of us in here. And you sisters better show some goddamn gratitude around here.
Man, what you say?
You understand? Whatever problems you got, it's not the problems that you don't have. You understand? It's not the problems that you could have. You better work with your husband, work with your man with the problems, the little bit of problems y'all have to solve them and stay in order, because you could be getting asked to do things that are absolutely atrocious for a woman to have to do to her man. Yikes. Shalom Sharatazai, see you. Shapat Dayak said, I always said in the world, I was to blame for any failure in my relationships. I believe that's every brother. Every man, when a relationship goes bad, they get the brunt of responsibility. Well, what did you do wrong? Brother, listen, you could be with a whore. You could be a good man with a woman that's a whore, and she whores on you. And they'll ask you, well, what did you do wrong?
To make her do that.
Yeah, what did you do to make her do that? Brother, they're going to blame you because you are the leader. And subconsciously, nobody believes that we're all equal bull BS. Nobody believes it, and truthfully. The man always gets the brunt of responsibility because the man is supposed to be in charge. Yeah, that's what it is. If women didn't blame men, then maybe we could start to listen to women when they say, well, we're equal. You bras don't share that blame equally.
No,
I'm
never
starting to believe we equal when I see you step up and say, it's our fault, women. It's us, it's on us. We failed our children. We failed the black community and wanted to be independent. But until I see that, you stepping up to get your equal share in the blame, you're not equal. You're not equal. You running from the blame, and you should run from the blame. I'll take the blame. And guess what else? What I'll take? Control. I'll take it from here, the water. Sit down. Go. I need a sandwich, please. It's a lock. I'm just being funny. That's a joke. You understand? They're like, these U.P.K niggas. You understand? That's what I'll do. I'll take charge from here. I'll take full blame for what has went wrong. And I'll also take charge. I'll take the reins from here on out. Mawasar said, black men get the full and only blame. That's right. Paul Ross said, most high in Christ, I am married to a priest and prophet of the I.S.U.P.K, Barak Yahweh Yahweh. Damn right, sis. Damn right. God was IUIC sticking for the benefit. Right. I.S.U.P.K hold a brother and sister accountable. That's right. The map cartographer said, I can't say much on relationships since I've never been in one, but that was a good example of the kids in the car. Absolutely. You understand? Let me show you how. Go ahead, Masha.
I was gonna say, Salakia, you're absolutely correct. Brothers are blamed for everything. I'm gonna show you something that is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
My whole life until the 2000s, I always heard from a little boy up, weed is bad. Weed is not good. Weed is bad. And that's what we taught our children and passed it on. And yet what we do, we still went out there and snuck and got a little bit, right? And then we saw a lot of brothers go to jail. And A lot of families get destroyed because of weed. People don't believe this, but because of weed, families destroyed. And then, not too many years ago, they decided that everything we were told about weed was a lie, and now it's legal to possess.
That's right.
And the brothers that fought against it, I don't care that it's legal now. You still can't. Brothers lost families. Brothers got into big arguments because they wanted to defend what the Bible said. The Bible said you ain't got no business smoking, period.
That's right.
But and when he first told him, look, we're not doing no more weed. What?
My shot, when you speaking, put yourself on the screen too when you speaking.
Please. Oh, Salakia.
No sweat.
I'm just talking Salakia. My bag, sir.
And no sweat. I want them to see you too when you speaking.
I want to Salakia. But I've watched that in Detroit. And since I saw the first weed stores go up, right? They've popped up like liquor stores now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they popped up like liquor stores, and you try to tell a brother not to do that, or a brother trying to get his family not to do that. He almost can forget about it. It's going to show up anyway. And then as soon as one of the kids get in trouble or there's an accident or something, it's still going to be his fault. Well, you should have never let the kids. Well, okay. Like you say, it'll be my fault, but in a minute, I'm going to be in charge of running all of this too.
That's right. That's right. And that's why as Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, the men have to be in charge. You understand? We've had a chance to see how things turn out when we don't have the power and authority over our families, over our women, like the Lord said we should have, like the God of the Bible said we ought to have and we better have. Sharad, as I said, women praise Will Smith for staying with Jada after all the garbage she put him through, proves that a lot of sisters just want to be whores and hold no accountability. Yes.
That's heavy.
That's true. And that comes from weak men. I'm not excusing sisters at all because, like I said, I'm getting ready to get to the sisters. But we got it once again because I know the man is in charge. The buck stops and ends with men. That's the truth. Period. And we have whores.
Oops, my bad.
No sweat, priest. Our women are whores because of the demand, the appeal from weak, lustful, sinful men that are into whores. This is why I always say too, here's an easy test to show how brothers, and I ain't saying brothers in here, you understand, but I'm talking about brothers, I'm talking about Black, Hispanic, and Native American men. Here's an easy test to see how we how we inadvertently teach women the wrong thing. Black men and Hispanic men will get online and say how they don't want their woman to be online, twerking, half naked, in the strip clubs or in clubs, with dancing on other men. And then that same man that said that will go online on Instagram and look at who he follows and what he's liking, or get on TikTok and look what he likes and follows. It's half naked women in strip clubs, twerking in public, and all. It's the things that he says he doesn't like for his woman to do, but he's supporting other women doing it. Yeah, you can't be that type of man. And you can't expect women to change when you're teaching them. You're saying one thing, but your actions are teaching them what you're really into. That's why you should never praise a whore. You should never repost or like a video of a woman being in a way that you would never want your woman to be. If you wouldn't want your daughter or your woman to be like this, don't like the damn video. Don't follow the broad. Don't share it. Don't even watch it. Don't even consume it. You have to starve out that type of women. And now on the adverse side, give the women that you want to see more of, you got to give them attention. That's how you teach a lesson. The problem is Brothers are doing too much lip service and not enough actual action. You understand? You're saying one thing, but the women are looking and seeing, nigga, you don't really believe that. You don't believe that because you follow porn stars. You follow naked women who are influencers who have gotten famous from being naked on social media. Cooking with Kaya. I've seen brothers sharing cooking with Kaya. Is it okay? Let me just ask brothers that was okay with that. And I ain't trying to get into the debate. I just want to ask brothers, this is the question I have. If you thought cooking with Kaya was acceptable, are you okay with your woman getting online, cooking, and turn around so I can see her clap with that pan of cookies in her hand? Is that okay with you? Are you fine with your woman getting in the kitchen, showing all her assets, and then after she cooked you a meal and she turn around and show me and all my brothers what she got back there? She ain't showing us just the cookies. She's showing us the cookies and the cakes. Is that okay with you? And if that's not okay for your woman to do, you shouldn't support it. You have to stand on a principle and have to mean it, or else you're double speaking. You're teaching the wrong lesson. You're teaching the wrong lesson. Because I don't want my woman to do that, I would never support that. I would never praise her. I would never share or like. And I'm not just targeting that sister. I'm just using her as an example, as somebody that everybody was talking about at one point. You know who I do praise? Sisters in the U.P.K. that I watched for years since I've been in the school, cook for the brothers to go to camp without being on social media, without looking for praise, without looking for attention, without being naked, without shaking ass, without being a whore and a slut. That's who I praise, because I want my wife to be like that. I want my daughter to be like that. So before I'll ever praise some whore that cooks, wow, she cooks. That's you so impressed. She can cook. Well done. Yeah, no, I have a higher standard than that. I have sisters in here in the U.P.K. that cook not just for her husband, but for all her brothers. You understand? And she not all up in our faces. You understand? Trying to get attention and all. She cooks and she's out the way and just to go do something else. That's who I want my daughter to be like. That's who I want my sister to be like. That's who I want my wife to be like. So because of it, I'm going to promote that. I'm going to promote that. Brothers, you got to be mindful of what you promote and what you support, because really you're teaching an evil lesson. Whores would not exist if there were not men who desired whores. It's just the case. You understand? It starts and ends with the men. Brothers, we hold a major responsibility in this. And it's a burden, but it's a burden that the Lord gave us, because this is what it says in 1 Corinthians. Read it again, Masha, please. 1 Corinthians 11:3. It's our burden. This is what the Lord said. Masha, if you reading, we can't hear you, mighty man.
Here we go. You say 1 Corinthians 11, beginning at verse 3.
Mm-hmm.
But I would have you know that the head of every man is Christ, and the head of the woman is the man.
The head of the woman is the man. Brothers, you got to become a soldier. If you feel like life is unfair and you feel like a woman should get equal blame and equal responsibility, you got to become a soldier, and you got to find out, how do you do that? If you watching and you're not in the U.P.K, you better come in here and learn how to become a soldier, because you have to be a soldier in order to be over women and children. You can't be a regular man. You understand? You can't be a man of this world and think you can properly be over women and children. You have to be a soldier to be a leader over fellow men, women and children. Don't think that you can now live as the world lives, and you can be in your mind progressive, liberal, or whatever you think you're doing, and really it's just pandering. You're pandering. You understand? You say things that you know women like to hear. See, I let my women make decisions too. We equals. You say whatever you know women like, and I understand it might have worked for you. You might have got into women's draws before, but listen, man, you know you can get women by being a man, right? I don't know if you know that. You know you can tell a woman the God honest truth, and you can get women still. Brother, the first time I had that realization, it blew my mind. I remember when I first came into the truth. Now I wasn't even in the school yet. I wasn't even in the school. But I was watching the school, and I found out a man can have multiple wives according to the Bible. Brother, and I remember I met a sister. Keep in mind, I wasn't in here yet. So I was trying, but I wasn't all the way locked in. I had multiple women all the time, but I was lying about it. You understand? And it wasn't until I watched the U.P.K. where I found out, brother, what are you lying about? The Lord said you can have multiple women. So I had met this sister, brother, and I said, you know what? Let me just try what these U.P.K. niggas is talking about. Let me just tell her the truth. Let me just tell her I got another shorty already. And brother, I told this sister that I was just meeting, and she was interested in me, and I was like, well, I got a shorty already. I believe I can. A man can have multiple ribs, and I got one already. And guess what happened? Guess what happened, Masha?
She said, "Can I be two?"
Not exactly like that, but in spirit, yes. She was like, okay, as long as you treat me right. And she meant it. And brother, as a young man, that blew my goddamn mind. I said, you mean to tell me all these years of lying and sneaking and being a coward, and I could have been this way the whole time, and I still could have gotten women? Oh, it's a travesty once you realize it. It's a travesty once you realize you don't have to ever compromise. You don't have to be a liar, a filthy liar, and a coward to get women.
That's right.
You can maintain your integrity. You can maintain your masculinity. You can maintain the truth, and women are going to still love you. You understand? And they're going to appreciate you and love you even more because now they know that they have a man that stands on something that most men won't ever stand on. The truth. You understand? Brothers, the responsibility starts with us. We teach our women and children what we accept and what we don't accept, not with our words, but with our actions.
That's right.
Now let's go to you sisters. You understand? The Bible just said the head of woman is the man.
That's right.
A lot of you sisters, and when I say sisters, of course, I hope you are sisters in the U.P.K. You know I'm not talking about y'all. You understand? You sisters in the U.P.K. are the shining example of what every woman should be like.
That's
you
right.
Sisters in the U.P.K., brother, if I could just promote you. Every time I see a video of some whore, I would just promote you instead to fight back. Because you give brothers like me hope in knowing that there are good women. And when you came up the way I came up, brother, that's not true in my mind. And it wasn't until the U.P.K. where you couldn't have convinced me there were good women. And the U.P.K. showed me that not only are there good women, there are excellent women. And you sisters are the example of that in here. You understand? The same way you brothers in here are not the brothers that I'm talking about that's in the world. You brothers are 1 in 1,000, like the Bible says. You brothers in here are valuable and you're rare and as precious as fine gold, like the Bible says. You understand? And any woman that will get a brother in here, any of you brothers, is a credit to her. You understand? Because you brothers are rare and valuable, the same way with you sisters. So let me just clarify that when I'm talking about this, right, I'm talking to those that are in the world. You understand? Now, if you feel offended and it applies, it might be something in you that's in the world still, right? So now you sisters.
All right.
The man is the head of the woman. Let me play this video first, Masha. Let me play this video. right? This is a video that's going viral. I want y'all to tell me if y'all see, type of a 1 or 2 in the chat. If you if you've seen the video I'm getting ready to play, type of 1. If you have not seen this video, type of 2. Right? Hold on.
Okay. What?
You're gonna have to share your screen. Oh, you can do it that way.
Now I'm gonna play it from my phone, Masha.
Comic-Con.
Yeah, I don't want to do no extras, nothing extra on the laptop. I was having issues already.
I feel you, otherwise I feel you.
All right, here we go.
Biggest dating okay. What's my biggest dating?
Okay, back up a little bit from the screen.
Say it again, Masha.
You have to back up a little bit from your
camera.
camera.
I'm gonna fix it. I'm gonna fix it, priest.
Okay, Comic-Con.
The water.
Select that one.
What's my biggest dating red flag? Is it being on the DL? You're on the right track. I have no answer. Is it close enough? You want to guess one more time? What would be a red flag for me? Bad music taste. Oh, that is a good one. That's one for me. That is a good one. Like, that's not what I mean. Don't listen up, Jackson. But okay. This is a huge red flag for me. All right. I mean, strike one. You're sexual. So technically, because my mom was already there, I don't think I deserve to eat a wing. I think you do, Fran. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Oh.
All right, so let me break down the video. So let me see what we got. Who all seen it? The map cartographer, not a Bob, Judah 720, Bathara with Nah, Power Rabba Yum. Y'all all have not seen it. Makulat and Adi Nah have seen it. So this is a video of a up and coming. She's gaining a lot of attention and fame. Her name is Doechii, and she's a sister that raps, and she's on a show talking about dating and relationships. And she was asked the question, what's the biggest red flag? And she said her response the biggest red flag, her response was a straight man. That was her response.
What the what?
Yeah, it's confusing, Marsha. If you even try to understand it, it'll blow your mind. She was asked what her biggest red flag was, and she said a straight man.
Okay.
Meaning, if you are a man that is only into women, oh, there's something fishy about you. There is something suspect about that. That's a red flag. What do you mean you're only into women? What do you mean by that? What the hell you mean you're only into women? This is what this young sister said. And it's going viral. And there are a lot of people that are supporting what she said. There's a lot of people that said, well, yeah, I can see that. I can understand that. What you have to see Mariah, that's the easy thing to do. And I'm not singling you out, Mariah. She is dumb. She's definitely dumb. But okay, don't do the easy thing. The easy thing that what to do is for us to turn on each other and be like, this is why black women ain't shit. This is why black men ain't. Well, that's what's happening right now. That's the intended result for something like this. The easy thing to do is to see this, especially brothers, and as a straight man, it makes you now look at black women as a whole like this. That's the easy thing to do, and that's what is promoted and what is the goal. And vice versa for sisters. You understand, when you see videos of one Looney Tune saying something and it's meant for you to hate all black men, don't do that. You have to see this and understand what we just read in Isaiah. Woe to them that call good evil and evil good. This exists because we live in a society. Shalom, Isaiah. I see you, mighty man. Shalom, Vanessa Coleman. This exists because we live in a society ran by a people that are completely against God. You understand? We live in a society that everything that is right is wrong in this place. So over time, brother, it only makes sense that us trying to be a part of this place, you take on the spirit of this place. Let me ask, brother, let me ask all the sisters in here. If you are a Black, Hispanic, or Native American woman in this chat, I want you to type in the chat, what is your biggest red flag? What is your biggest red flag? Let's ask other Black and Hispanic women. What is your biggest red flag? Black and Hispanic women, all of you, type in the chat. If you have, most of you have, if you have husbands, I'm talking about before you had a husband, or excuse me, or if you single, what is your biggest red flag now? You understand? Also, I said, this is the same sister that let a brother play Russian roulette on camera, damn near bade him to pull the trigger. Good night. Makwala Shalom, Mawasar. Makwala say, any woman that agree with her, I feel bad for their kids if they have any. Well, yeah, that's the problem. It's not just women that agree with her. That's the problem. There are women that don't agree with her. And I feel bad for their kids because they live in a society where this is the norm. So you could be raised all the way right, but the influences of this society, if not without the truth, you won't be able to stop this. There's only one thing that can stop this, and we're gonna get it. Adiyanasa, the man that's feminine, that's her biggest red flag. I see none of the sisters want to type it in the chat. Don't now. I just praise you, UPK sisters. Don't let me find out that y'all agree with her. That's your biggest red flag. Don't let me find out. You understand? I don't think it is, but y'all not typing in the chat. What it is very suspect. You sisters type in the chat, man. When you were single, what was your biggest red flag when you were single? Batharo Anna said, acting soft and sweet, right? Okay. Shemayim said, an angry man, all right. I'm gonna wait. I want to see. I want to see because it's easy now to look at this and say, see, it's why we got to go get passports, brothers. We got to go get passports. The Chinese woman, we got to go get a woman from Thailand. You gotta go get a woman from the Philippines. You gotta go overseas and get you a woman because these black women over here ain't no good, ain't no hope. Yeah, we gotta divest. Paul Ross said before calling the shots, but now I don't have to stand in that unnatural role. I got you, no sweat. Right? If you notice, none of the sisters that answered said what she said. None of the sisters that answered. She said, so like I said, if I may being disrespectful and angry, also someone who stunted on their own people. I got you. I'm still waiting to see if a sister in here said the same thing that this broad said, don't she? None of the sisters in here said a straight man was the biggest red flag. And if you ask most black women will not say that either. You understand? What you have to realize is our oppressor pays people to get online and say the most upside down and dysfunctional things that they can say to try to stop the right way from existing. And this is just another case of that. You understand? Now, I'm not saying that she's not serious. I believe she's serious. I believe she is absolutely serious in what she said, and she wasn't joking. You understand? But here's the problem. Straight men are the only men that are looked to for protection.
True.
You know, so she said a straight man is the biggest red flag. Well, how come it's always straight men that are given the blame for where were you? Why didn't anybody help? Brother, if you could watch a video right now, if you watch a video of a black woman getting beat up, I remember this was a couple of years ago. It was like 4 or 5 years ago. There was a black woman in DC came out here to counter protest against the white supremacists. And brother, them white boys was beating that sister tail. And I remember all the black women asking, where are all the black men? So my question to those sisters are you looking for a straight black man to help or a gay black man to help? That's what I want to know. The ones that agree with Dochi, when things go bad, are you looking for straight black men to help or gay black men to help? That's what I would like to know.
Get it in the chat.
Right. You understand? But here's the thing, brothers. They don't believe that. When a woman needs help, she's not looking at a nigga's orientation. You understand? She's not looking, and not even that, she's not even looking for a homosexual man. She's looking for a strong man. When things go bad, a woman looks for a strong man.
That's right.
She looks for a straight man. You understand? She blames a straight man because that's who she puts the onus of responsibility on. Black women don't, okay, once again, you have to understand psychology. She thinks a straight man is a red flag because that's who she blames for the trauma she suffered.
That's right.
You understand? You got to understand something, brother. For her answer to be that, she has given us a lot of insight on the things that have happened to her. I could have imagined the type of trauma and a sexual or physical abuse that she has gone through where she feels that a straight man is the biggest red flag. I'll tell you why. Because she blames straight men for not protecting her against the things that happened to her. That's why. She blames straight men for not being there to protect her against all the evil that happened to her. And you know why she blames straight men? Because she knows that it's only straight men that can protect her. She knows that it's only straight men that can sit in the seat of judgment and protection. If she didn't believe that, she wouldn't blame straight men. But she blames straight men for the things that have happened to her because in spirit, she knows that's who can only sit in that seat of judgment and protection. A gay man can't protect her. A gay man can't sit in the seat of protection or judgment. So that's why she wasn't looking for a gay man to save her when she was getting molested.
That's right.
Because she wasn't looking for a gay man to save her, she's not blaming gay men because she knew a gay man could never save her. She blames straight men because she was looking for a straight man to save her because she knows that's the only man that can save her. Brothers, you better understand something. The sisters, even in their destruction, are telling you what you have to be. You have to be a righteous, straight man in charge. It's not good enough just to be a righteous, straight man. You have to be in charge. You have to be. If you're not in charge, this is what's going to be all of our daughters. It's going to be all of our daughters. You can show them to the truth all you want. You can bring them to the classes. You can get them pretty dresses for the Passover. If you righteous, straight men are not over your woman, if you're not over your children, if you're not in charge, this is all of our daughters. And they're going to be looking to get with a gay man. You understand? Women know we're supposed to be in charge. They know it. The Lord put it in her to know that. It's from the beginning. You understand? If Masha, if you could please get me Genesis 3:16.
Khan, sir.
Shalom, Shariah Kwar, I see you. I.S.U.P.K. Radha, I see you. Mama Sar said, I don't want no dent face, slant eye demon. I can't be no passport brother. I hear that, brother. You and me both. You understand? I don't like rice cakes. I like yams.
Yeah, I learned that way back in the 70s. I do
You
not like
understand?
rice cakes.
You're right, brother. I hope you brothers are picking up what I'm putting down. I don't like rice cakes.
No, sir. No,
Yeah,
sir.
I like yams.
Yams.
You understand?
That's right.
Salaki. Right.
Con.
As I said, that would be a good TikTok video. Most High in Christ, brother. I think we should definitely do it. You understand? We should definitely do it. But Bathara would not say if she had a strong man, she would have not been out there with the white folks. Exactly. Shalom Yaquar, I see you. That's right, Makulat. The white man is the devil the Bible speaks of. That's correct.
Right.
That's right.
I got you. This is Genesis 3, verse 16.
Right. Let me get U.P.K. Radah's question real quick.
Come.
You said, what will be the counter argument if a woman says she doesn't mind a physically strong gay man to save her? Okay, that's an excellent question because there are a select few women that believe that. You got to ask her, why do you prefer a gay man to save you and not a straight man? That's the argument. You got to ask her, why would you rather a gay man to save you versus a straight man? And because I've kind of had this debate back and forth, she's going to say, because straight black men are violent. Straight black men are murdering black women. Straight black men are, she's going to go to the aspect of the violence aspect. That's where she's going to go. She's going to feel safer with a gay black man versus a straight black man because she believes that straight black men are more violent. And then here's where I would go after that. When they talk about the murder rate, do they classify the murder rate by sexual orientation? Anybody know? When you look up the black homicides in your city, do they tell you the percentage of how many of those murderers were gay or gay or straight? They'll tell you the makeup by gender. And for any woman that tries to get the argument that men are more violent, I won't say that's more true. Statistically, men commit more of the violent crimes. You understand? So you can see that breakdown. Like if you look at your own city statistics for murders, and you'll see the breakdown by race, and then you can see the breakdown by gender, but you don't see the breakdown by sexual orientation. So my question to black women is, how do you know straight men are more violent than gay men? That's what you got to ask. That's right, Shabbat Azah, Bakara Wana, Yaquar. They don't break down the murder statistics, the violent crime statistics by somebody's sexual orientation. So how do you know that the niggas that's murdering are not gay? How do you know that? Do you know why? Now, if you in the class, I want somebody, if you can get this right, you'll blow my mind. Do you know why she assumes straight men are the ones committing murders versus gay men? Meaning she doesn't have any data to prove that these men are straight or gay. But she automatically assumes the men committing murders are straight. Do you want to know why? Why do the women that say that, why do they assume the straight men are the ones committing the murders? If you can get this correct, it will blow my mind. You got to be in the class. You got to be rocking and rolling with me, locked in to get this right. Makola said, because they listen to their daddy, the white man. Okay, that's true. They do. But Tharawanan said, I think gay men are more violent towards women. Well, they are, and I can prove that in just a second. Sharakazai said, women hate masculinity. Yes, some do, but they don't. That's the thing. It's a dichotomy that exists. Officer Ilazar, give Ilazar a hand. I've been saying it the entire time because straight men take the blame. She blames who she knows is supposed to be in charge. She doesn't think gay men are committing murders because she knows a gay man shouldn't even be in charge. He doesn't sit in a seat of protection or judgment.
That's right.
She places the blame on the person she knows spiritually should be over her. Women have gay best friends, but in spirit, they know a gay man shouldn't be over her. That's why they don't get the blame. They don't get the blame. A woman has no basis to say whether or not these men that are committing murders are gay or straight, but somehow you just think to assume the murderers and the violence against women are coming from straight men. Yeah, it's because you know straight men are supposed to be in charge. That's who you blame. Who you blame is who you look to be over you. You understand? If you were to blame yourself, then that means you look at yourself like I should be managing myself better. If you blame somebody else, you look to them to say, well, I blame them because I believe they should be over me. Here's the problem. Statistically, men and women of the LGBTQ community are more violent.
I want con.
You take, and once again, this is something that I've studied since I've been in high school. If you take any serial killer of any race, do you know the majority of the time they were LGBTQ?
I want con.
You don't believe me? You take the white ones. You take the killers in your neighborhood. The niggas that was known out in D.C. It's a nigga named Wayne Perry and Rayford Edmonds. Out here in D.C., two known cats. Wayne Perry was known for killing, and both of them were gay. Both of them had a thing for other men. The biggest killers, they are of the LGBTQ lifestyle. Now, once again, people gonna say, well, you see, these niggas is spewing hate speech. How could you say that? Statistically, it's documented. Most serial killers are of the LGBTQ lifestyle. They're the most violent. The highest rates of domestic violence. All you got to do is just go look into it. Go do your research. You into serial killers, go look into serial killers and pull up the information. They were LGBTQ members. Whether or not they were out is the question, but they were men and women, mainly men, because it's mainly men. They were mainly men that partook in same-sex attraction or same-sex relations. You understand? Yes, Wayne Perry was known to be gay, brother. You talk to some of them old head cats from DC, everybody know it. It's one of the things you can't speak on. You go talk to even the young niggas that's killing. Officer Yagadar said, Dahmer and Gacy, they always be sweet and low. Always. You talk to some of these young brothers that's doing all the killing in your city. And guess what you'll find out? They were molested.
That's right.
They were molested, and they're fighting to get their masculinity back. They're fighting to not be a victim anymore. That type of violence only comes from a violation, brother, that comes from the LGBTQ community. LGBTQP. You can't forget the P, the pedophiles, because that's how you create LGBTQ, the P. The brothers, and this is why the church is so evil, because everybody blames these young brothers as killing, and nobody's asking, why is he doing this? What could make something go off in somebody's head to take a life at the rate that you're doing it? It's because they were violated, brother. And I know a lot of y'all may not understand this, You got to sit down and talk to some of these brothers, which I have. You understand? You talk to a lot of these brothers, young and old, and they were hardened. They were hardened and made numb at an early age because of them being molested. That's right. Pagawa, a lot of these young brothers been violated in jail. That's what you see. You ever notice a cat get locked? He halfway a good guy. You understand? And he get locked up and he come out and he's in full demon mode. Something happened to him in that jail, brother. No, it's like he's not the same person. Nobody's gonna talk about it because it's so taboo. That's right. Oh, even you look at the TV show, Omar from The Wire. Omar was a revered and feared killer, and Omar was gay. He was a gay man. The LGBTQ community is a community that breeds that type of violence. You understand? And here's the flip side of women who ignorantly say men are more violent. It's two things. If you're a woman, I want the sisters to answer this. If you're a woman and you have a man and somebody is breaking into your house, do you want your man to be nonviolent?
Yeah. Good question.
I want all the sisters to answer. If you're a woman and you have a man and another man is coming to do harm to you, do you want your man to be nonviolent? Let's ask the sisters. We got women in here. We might as well see what they say. The Thara would now said la'a. Adiyana said no. Takaya Bob said la'a. Nalabah said hell no. Yeah, that's what I figured. Naamia said la'a. If you ask this same sister, Dochi, the rapper, she said straight men are a red flag. Guess what? If another man came to do her harm, and you act like straight men are so violent, you're going to be looking for a straight man and that violence that you act like you detest so much. Violence is not bad. Violence is not bad when tamed and bridled by righteousness and righteous judgment.
That's right.
And you sisters, you look at men being straight and violent as a bad thing, when you should want a man that's violent. You should want a man that at the drop of a dime can get absolutely violent. That's what you should want if you're a smart woman. You should want a man that you know he's going to get violent. You should also want a man that is, again, tapered by righteous judgment to know what situation calls for violence and not violence. The Christian church has destroyed your concept of what you should want. You want them. You think you want a Martin Luther King.
And if I could, real quick.
Go ahead, Masha.
If I could. In your neighborhood, this is a hypothetical situation. You got a young fella, he clowning in the neighborhood, and he's proven himself to be violent. When the police hear about him and they come out, how are they going to come out? They're going to come out showing this guy who's terrorizing your neighborhood, we are about to produce more violence on you than you think you can participate.
That's right.
If the Boy Scouts came out there to argue with him, y'all would just stay in your houses. Y'all wouldn't go. Y'all would not feel comfortable going outside. But when the police force show up with 30, 40 men, SWAT trained, all black, vehicle, got a baby cannon on it. Oh, y'all happy to see that violence.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? You're happy to see that violence. In fact, in your neighborhood, the police don't know about it. It's some fool walking around the playground, bothering the kids.
Right.
99% of y'all are going to call that one, watch this, that one heterosexual man before you call anybody else. Right. You're not calling your gay friends to go down and handle a pedophile problem at the playground or possible pet. You want a 100% strong black man, period.
That's right. That's right. Well said, Masha. And it's the goddamn truth. You understand? Shalom, Shabar. I see you, mighty man. Shalom, Ira. It's the truth. Here's what you, the sisters that want, you think you're safer with a gay man. You have to understand, you can't hate a man for the thing that you want him for. Meaning, sisters want a man. You want the idea of what you think a man is. Here's the truth when you get a real man. A real man is a man that is, at the drop of a dime, he could take your life. But because he's righteous, he won't take your life. It's a dichotomy that exists, meaning you can't ask for a real man and then get mad when he's telling you what to do. Which is a lot of sisters make the mistake of doing. You understand? Coming from them churches and stuff. You pray to the Lord, Lord, give me a good man. Give me a strong man. And then the nigga start telling you what to do. And now you, what do you want? This is what comes with it. And what comes with a strong man, what comes with a man worth having is violence. I'm not saying towards you, but meaning the capability to enact violence. Again, but it's just tapered by a righteous cause. You understand? What was that? That's what you're gonna get. Two more scriptures, my shot, if I could. Come on. Shalom's the YAHANNA, I see you. Right, so that's the response. That question somebody asked me, I forgot who it was that asked it. U.P.K. Radha. That's the counter argument I would give to a woman if she says she wants a strong gay man to save her. You understand? That's my counter argument. And then secondly, here's the second part to that thing that for women that believe men are more violent. That's not true. If you want to go off statistics, which is what they'll usually go off of, they'll tell you, look up the statistics, look at the domestic violence and the femicide, the murder of black women by black men. If that's the measure of violence that we're going off of, what is the number one cause of death in the black and Hispanic community?
Well, if y'all missed it,
don't say my shot. Everybody type in the chat. And brothers and sisters, you got to be able to know this off the top, because this is how you dispel that myth very easily. What is the number one cause of death in the black, Hispanic, and Native American community, and has been for the past 50 years? Here's how you dispel that men are violent. Men are so violent. Here's how you dispel it. I'm not saying men are not violent. That's not what I'm saying. But if we're going off the metric of what they're using, which is the statistics of murder, then we got to look at the statistics then as a whole. Ira said abortion. Grisha Brown said the white man, CIA. The map cartographer said abortion. Gabo said adultery. Officer Alazar said woman lies. Grisha Brown said yes, abortion. Sharatasa said women. Pagabwa said Salaki, abortion. The right answer is abortion. Since 1973, abortion statistically, remember, you got to you got to use the metric that they're using for it to count. When a woman says men are more violent, they're going to use this argument that black men are murdering black women at high rates. They call it femicide. They're going to use it. I just got into a debate with a broad on TikTok 2 weeks ago about this whole argument. They're going to pull that. They're going to say, look at the statistics. Black men murder Black women at alarming rates. So if that's the metric that we're going off of for violence, Black women and Hispanic women, you're the most violent. You murder Black boys and girls to the tune of millions. Millions. If that's the metric we're going off of, you're violent. You're the most violent. You should be a red flag. Women that have abortions should be a red flag because you're violent, and we should fear you. We should fear any child being in your stomach because you're going to murder it. Abortions make up, you can combine all the causes of death for Blacks and Hispanics and put them together, and abortion is going to outnumber them. I'm not making this up. I wish I was. So if that's the metric you feminist broads want to go with, well, Black men murder Black women. Black women are murdering our boys and girls at genocide rates. Genocide rates. What are we talking about? Again, what you want to do is not make the conversation go to us versus you. But sometimes you're gonna have to pull that to now bring the conversation back to where it need to be. You're not gonna sit here and try to blame Black men and paint us to be something that, okay, if we're gonna look at it, then we both are in the wrong. Black men do murder Black women at an alarming rate. That is true. And you can't never deny that. The statistics prove it. Black men are murdering Black women at an alarming rate.
Welcome to Atlanta.
The same way. You might have to mute that, brother. No sweat, mighty man. The same way Black women are murdering our babies at an alarming rate. So instead of us going back and forth and trying to point the blame and who's violent, how about we now look at it for what we should look at it? Here's the thing. We both have been deceived and destroyed into believing a way of life that we've been following is right when it's not right. We've been deceived into believing that we're equal when we're not equal. We've been deceived into believing that we have the same share of blame and responsibility and control when we don't. Here's what we have to do now, baby girl. I'm not going to blame you now for the things that you've done before, and don't blame me for the things that I've done before. We made mistakes. We've done horrible things to each other. As Black men, we have done horrible things to Black women. Horrible, terrible things, unspeakable things. And Black women, you have done horrible things to Black people, to Black men as well. Unspeakable things. We can spend all day talking about those things and pointing fingers, and we'll just keep talking about the things we've done. Or we can say, you know what? We've been terrible to each other. Today, let's decide to not be terrible to each other anymore.
That's right.
And let's look at why was it so easy for us to be terrible towards each other? And when you start to do that, you'll realize we're blaming the wrong people. It's easy for you to be a Black woman and hate Black men. It's easy. Everything is designed for you to do that. Everything, the media, the movies, the music, everything is designed for you as Black and Hispanic women to hate Black and Hispanic men. It's easy for you to hate Black and Hispanic women if you're a Black and Hispanic man. The media, the podcasts, everything is geared towards you to do that. That's why we started off the scripture with the turning of things upside down. This is what this society breeds. They take the good and call it evil, and then they make the evil and call it good. You should fight against anything that this society pushes. And society wants us to hate each other. That is proof that we should love each other and love each other in the proper way. What's the proper way we should love each other? Shalom, Princess Nazam. Shalom, Nayam. Give me Genesis 3. You got that still, Masha? I don't think we ever read it. Genesis 3 and 16.
Salakia.
No sweat, priest. Genesis 3 and 16.
This is Genesis chapter 3, verse 16. Can you hear me okay, sir?
I hear you loud and clear, priest.
Genesis chapter 3, verse 16. Unto the woman he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception. In sorrow thou shalt bring forth children, and thy desire shall be to thy husband, and he shall rule over thee.
Thy desire, this is what the Lord said to the woman, your desire shall be to thy husband, and he shall rule over thee. That's what the Lord said from the beginning. The Lord said that your man is supposed to rule over you. Sisters, your desire is supposed to be towards your husband. You're supposed to want to change everything around to please your man. It's so sad too, Masha, because there was a point in time, you know, there's little pockets in our history of being in America where sisters kind of found that identity where it's like a woman caters to a man. I'm not saying that the type of women we have today have always existed. That's a myth that it's the young generation. That's a cop-out.
Right.
You understand? That's a pathetic cop-out that somehow this nonsense started with this new generation. Nigga, you was whores back then. You were loudmouth dragons back then. That's why you didn't have a dad. And your mother didn't have a dad, and her mother didn't have a dad. You understand? So this is not a new phenomenon. But you can find in certain pockets of history where sisters will come, it'll be like a trend, a movement, where sisters now will say, you know what, we need our men, and we're going to treat our men right. You understand? This society will make you feel wrong, sisters, for wanting to cater to your man, changing your entire life around to suit your man. When that's what the Lord said, your desire will be towards your husband. You should. You should. Your husband like this, like things done this way, you should do it this way. Your husband likes to, your desire to be should be towards your husband. I ain't gonna drag it.
That's right.
It's right. That's not wrong. It's right. And you feel that pushback, you feel like you're losing yourself is what society has trained you to believe, because this place is turned upside down. You find yourself the more you cater to your husband. You understand? Now, if you're a sister that has a brother that's not in here, you should get counsel. You understand? You should get counsel if your husband is not in here, because you have a very thin line you have to walk.
That's
and
right.
Catering to your husband, but making sure you understand that you don't abide with the ways of a sinful man. You understand? So if you're a sister and you married to a man that's not in here, you should constantly be calling and getting counsel on how to walk that tightrope. You understand? Because it's a delicate dance you got to do to cater and make your life all about your man, but he's a sinner. You understand? But if you're a sister in here and your man is in here, God damn it, everything should be about that nigga, man. What are you talking about? Everything should be about him. You got a man that serves the Lord. What are you holding back for? What are you talking about? Everything should be about your husband, and you will find your purpose in that. It's a beautiful thing. The white man then gave you all type of meaningless side quests, and you're depressed. Nobody talks about how much psychoactive and prescription meds for mental illness and depression and sadness sisters are taking. Nobody talks about that. You love to tout the fact that black women are the highest educated demographic and how you think you surpass black men, but you're not talking about how you got to take them psychoactive meds every night. And I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with taking medication or mental illness, because it happens. But what I'm showing you is a lot of these things come from women operating outside the way the Lord told them to operate. You understand? Don't get what I'm saying twisted. I'm not saying mental illness comes from you doing anything. And so there's many different causes of mental illness. Some of you were born with mental illness. Some of you have trauma-induced mental illness. You understand? And some of you just have mental illness that comes with the onset of age. Different factors. What I'm saying is There are many sisters now that complain of sadness and depression and loneliness. And you get online and you tout all your accomplishments as if you surpass somebody when really you don't feel truly accomplished. When really there's something that you feel is missing. It's because you follow what the white man's standard of success is. And I'm not saying getting degrees, and I'm not saying that. You got a lot of these dumb niggas that get on these podcasts and say, we don't care about your degree. Nigga, a woman with a degree is valuable. I hate when niggas say that. You get on a podcast and you think you sounding so, oh, we don't care about your degree. A man don't care about your degree. Yes, a man that knows how to be a good leader does. You understand? If she got a degree, you put that woman in the right hands, you got something to work with. Like, yeah, she got this qualification. She making this little money over here when she could be doing this. So that's not true, sisters. Don't that lie that the men don't care about your degree. That's niggas in the world. You understand? Niggas in the world gotta, in order for them to feel accomplished, you have to be diminished. That's not brothers in the truth. Brothers in the truth are wise men that look at everything as power. Skill is power. The more skills you have, the more power we have. You understand? So why would I be against your degree? That's not the problem. The problem is not the degree. The problem is the spirit that you take on when you get that degree. There is no success for the black woman without the black man. Anything that's trying to tell you that you have been successful and the black man is not with you, that's not success. You've been lied to. You've been duped. And vice versa. There is no success for black men without the black woman. You niggas going overseas and you thinking you living a life in Thailand and Philippines with some heathen woman paying cheap money. You're not living successful. Show the dark side of that. There is no success for the black man without the black woman. There is no success for the black woman without the black man. Everything else is just a trick. It's a trick. It's deception. The only way we're successful is if we're together in our proper order. And that is what the Lord said in 1 Corinthians 11:3. The man is the head of woman. Christ is the head of man. That's right. Success. Anything outside of that is deception and a trick from the enemy, our oppressor, the white man, the devil. You understand? You need marriage counsel. Get marriage counsel, man. Get some marriage counsel on how to resolve your issues within your marriage. You understand? You in this marriage, it's for life. Problems are going to come up. What are you, a quitter? This is why a lot of you never experienced real love in your effing lives before, because you're a quitter. You know what real love is? Some of you may not even ever know what I'm talking about. Being with somebody and things have been bad for so long, and then one day things start to get good. You don't even know that type of joy, and you don't know what that even feels like. To stick with somebody for so long and hold it down, and things are bad. Brother, it could be bad for 5 years. You could be with somebody and y'all can have a 10-year stretch that's as bad. It's been bad this whole past 10 years. And then one day, things turn around. They start to turn around and get better. You don't even know the feeling that comes with that. To stick around long enough to feel the joy that comes with being with somebody through those things. And that's why you're so unfulfilled. Because you think love is happiness. Love is not happiness. You'll never be fulfilled chasing happiness. Love is the thing that it's not hard. Just think of parents. Love is that thing when you have to get up late at night in the middle of the night when that baby's crying. The baby then threw up on your face. You got to go get up now and change, wash the sheets and wash your clothes. The baby then boo-boo all up the baby back. You understand? And you got to go wash the baby at 4 a.m. You understand? And then you watch that baby. You suffer and you suffer. And you're tired, you're overworked. You think this will never get better. But nothing in your mind says, I'm going to get rid of this baby. I'm going to leave this baby. You stick it out. And brother, there's a joy. There's a joy that comes with now seeing the product of that work. You get to watch that child walk across the goddamn stage. You're like, I remember when I was you caused me a lot of hell, little girl, little boy. You understand? You brought me a lot of grief. And there's a joy that comes with knowing you was just there. I was there and I did my part, and I get to see the beauty that comes with all of it. It's all part of the beauty. You won't even understand that. Some of you are like, nah, nigga, please. I don't believe in struggle love. I deserve to be happy. I understand. And you'll never find it. You'll never find it. You'll never get it. Quitters will never know what real love feels like. You don't deserve real love. You're a quitter.
You
understand? That's right, Grisha Brown. It grows in time. Princess Nazam said, Khan, sir, 28 years of my Ottawa. Give that a head. You understand? That's right, Makulat. That's the perfect way to put it. To enjoy the fruits of your labor. That's the perfect way to put it, Makulat. You don't understand, man. There might be a time period in your marriage where you're just sowing. You're sowing. Why would you leave before you get a chance to see what all the work was for? And here's a part for some of you. You don't realize how much you're such a big dummy, because some of you put so much work into a person and you leave, and somebody else gets the fruit of your labors. That's the crazy part. You understand? You done suffered all these arguments and suffered all this, all these things. And you leave and somebody else gets the benefit of all your suffering. You're an idiot. All this time you didn't put into this person, you might as well stick around and get the benefits of that. It's going to happen. Nothing is bad forever. The same way nothing is good forever. Take the good with the bad. You understand? The man is the head of the woman. Brothers, it's your duty. It's your responsibility. There's no other place for it. You understand? There's no other place for it. You have to be over the woman. You can't live life thinking you don't have responsibility. You have a responsibility, brother, over every woman. You understand? That doesn't have a husband. And even if she got a husband, if she out of order, brother, tell her husband. Because the man is over the woman.
That's right.
Your husband is over you. You understand? Your husband is over you, and you should do what he says. You should do what he says, like it's the Lord speaking to you. You understand? Pagabo, said, I don't need counsel. I messed up. Well, you know who to call, Pagabo. Make that call, brother. Make that call and get some counsel, man. We all mess up and make mistakes. You understand? Everybody type the fire emoji in the chat. See who all we got up in here. You understand? Type the fire emoji in the chat. I'm Precinct Officer 5,000. Zaka Ahmad. I got Precinct Officer 1,000. Masha rocking and rolling with me. Y'all like and share the stream. Hit that thumbs up. Like and share the stream. Type the fire emoji in the chat. You understand? We hold it down for General Hazayan. This is Let a Hebrew Speak. You understand? Let a Hebrew Speak. We live Mondays, 10 a.m. to 12 noon. You understand? Masha, I'm gonna try to send this to you so I can pull it up on the so you can pull it. This is the Passover QR code.
Khan.
Passover QR code. I thought I sent it already. Let me see.
You sent it to that Mashah, right?
Yeah.
Well, I have one. I guess it's from Quadash Tabar.
You got one? Are you able to post it on the screen?
That's what I'm gonna try to do here, real quick.
Let me see what we got up in these comments. Who we got? Yeah, whenever you get a chance, you just post that on the screen, please. Bathar Rawana, Yaquar, Makwalat, Princess Nazam, Ida Yana, Pagabawa, the map cartographer, Officer Ilazar, Grisha Brown, Naamia, Nayam, Mathkoyak, Ira. That's right, Grisha Brown, the Waters of the Generals. Officer Halak Aman. Yeah, I'm right. The Waters of y'all for rocking and rolling with us as usual. You understand? The Passover, April 12th. We got 1 month, brothers and sisters, 1 month to get your last bit of affairs in order. I know a lot of y'all probably still don't know what you're gonna wear yet. I know how we do. We wait to the last damn minute.
Last minute.
You got to stop that nonsense, man. You putting undue stress and burden on yourself, waiting to the last minute to do things. You know, there's a better way to do things, right, Israel? I don't know if we know this. There's a better way to do things. We should choose the better way. And the better way is not to wait until the last minute to do things, but because you waited, you know, you got extra burden, and that's your burden to bear, and you're going to bear it. You're going to suffer it. You're going to get it done. You're going to handle your business, and we're going to see each other at the Passover. You understand? We're going to see each other April 12th, Atlanta, Georgia. If you are a Black, Hispanic, or Native American, it is a commandment that you show up to the Passover. It's our culture. It's our culture. You understand? It doesn't belong to the Jewish man. It doesn't belong to anybody else. It's ours. And we're taking back our culture. And we're not going to let any oppressor dictate to us what God we serve and how we serve our God and when we can serve our God and where we can serve our God. We decide that. And we're doing it April 12th, Atlanta, Georgia. You're going to see niggas, spics, and redskins say, F the white man. We're going to serve our own God, and we're going to serve him the way we choose to serve him according to the Bible, a black book. April 12th, Atlanta, Georgia. Every Black, Hispanic, and Native American, it's a commandment that you attend the Passover. It's our culture. It's our true culture. Don't celebrate Easter. Easter is pagan. Easter is white culture. That comes from white people. You understand? The Passover is Black culture, Black and brown culture. You understand? I expect to see all y'all there. That's the QR code on the bottom of the screen. Officer Masha, he's gonna play the Passover commercial at the end of this, so you can get the information. The QR code is gonna stay right there as well. If you need the QR code to pay your Passover fee, you understand? The water to all y'all tuning in. Masha, the water to you as always, priest. Shalom, Yahweh, a thumb to the brothers. Yahweh Shema, a thumb by Shem, shot to the sisters. We out of here.
Atlanta. Practice Officer 5000, Jeremiah Yada, camp leader of Atlanta. Passover 2025, starting April the 9th, we got the lamb slaughter. April the 10th, we got General Muhammad's flag. April the 11th, we got the black party that's going to have the Hebrew graduation. April the 12th, in Atlanta, Georgia, the 56th annual Passover, the only Passover under Commander Junior YAHANNA.
Our great and holy King has honored us for turning our lives from the darkness to the light, man. And no greater gift you can receive than to wake up to the truth and then commit your life to saving your brothers, man. Looking in their eyes and seeing their faces and seeing what they've suffered and what they've gone through and seeing the end of it, man. It is a guaranteed seat in the kingdom of heaven, man. So in the name of our King Yahushua, we dedicate us another Passover of brothers and sisters' lives being saved.
April the 13th, we got the Feast of Unleavened Bread. Shalom.